And I think that that's what they're going to try to do here. It's kind of risky, but yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens.
You see Forsaken Archer, she's pushing up the top lane, now going to start falling into the jungle. This is so scary, though. I mean, obviously they got a little bit of vision, but God, I would be so worried if I'm Forsaken Archer right now in terms of getting jumped. But she's confident that they actually know where they are. You see the power throw going to be used right at Luna right there, kind of scouting things out, making sure that they're not committing to a Congo kill by any means. So look at the courier, as you mentioned here. By the Hellborn team, some good scouting going on. So, but Forsaken Archer, so she now has 2,100 gold. Obviously, though, you got to be thinking buybacks at the same time, so I don't expect her to purchase a Warhammer here by any means, but something else to keep in mind. But that was a good push by Forsaken Archer at the top lane, because you see now Slither falling back and going to start playing somewhat defensively, and it's going to buy more time here for the Hellborn side to actually push back both the bottom and the middle lane, as well as get more farm on this Forsaken Archer, of course, and eventually get her that Savage Mace. So this is working out pretty well here for the Hellborn side, as I think I saw Geometer's Bane they'll just purchase on Slither. So he's now going to split up that Frostburn here. Speaking of item pickups.
Boy, if Tempest can somehow muster a Shrunken Head this game, it would be devastating, because they have no way to cancel it. And you know, all they really have to do is kill Forsaken Archer in these fights. Of course, if she does have a buyback, it makes things a little bit more difficult, but you know, they can play the game out to where they know if she doesn't have a buyout. Say she just buys a big item, like she finishes her what do you, I always just want to call it MKB, yeah, Savage Mace. She finishes that. That could mean that she has no buyback, but if they get a big Shrunken Head Tempest ultimate, there's nothing that can cancel it. So that would be huge if she could do that.
Yeah, that's the big time that on that note, Tempest doesn't have a Shrunken Head and not even the makings of one, so but yeah, getting that Shrunken Head.
Yeah, if she could somehow muster that, though, that would be very big for this Legion team.
Yeah, sure you. Again, he's been having a fantastic Tempest performance throughout the series. That would just really seal the deal, but for now, none just yet. But they are going to once again group at the top side and start to push it back a little, or push it up a little bit, I should say, and once again pressure the Hellborn team. So Forsaken Archer, 2,800 gold and counting saved up. He is able to farm up this next creep wave here in the middle lane, so he'll hit about 3,000 or so here. So just about enough to get the Savage Mace. But again, it's a question of do you buy that Savage Mace knowing that you want to buyback money, or do you save for the buyback money? It's really that catch-22 situation. So we'll see what Meisty decides to do here.
He's really got to save for that buyout.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he buys that, and then she should come out in the hack, this could be really bad. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, Wretched Hack. She's going to die. Nice stuff from Morax. That Tempest ultimate on the back, but it does catch for a second after. Force trying to pour it out. It's not going to happen, though. The Hellborn team realizing they're in a horrible spot now. Forsaken Archer, Shrunken Head is activated, just sprinting away completely defensively. Now, Wretched Hack did buy back. Forsaken Archer able to survive right there. Great Null Stone. Well, not even used. That just happens to be good now. Turn around the back pass. Ophelia gets Talbot away. Look at the heal power coming out right there, and Ophelia stays alive. Excellent reaction, and they're all in. Savage Mace just purchased by Forsaken Archer, so this is it, and immediately she gets jumped. This could be the game right here. Good counter, though, from Wretched Hag. The Hellfire applied him. Polywalk Priest barely staying alive, though, as she is. The Storm Spirit and the poured out at the last second. What a play right there by the Legion team. Wretched Hag's forced to port away. The tower goes down. The racks are still alive, but Wretched Hag will have to run. Unbelievable, but as you said, the base towers are going down. In fact, there we go. The other defensive tower is about to drop right here. It is going to fall, and the sacrificial shrine is exposed, and Wretched Hag gets turned around on when it's all said and done. So Orange Esports going cutthroat status right here. They're going to go for the mega creeps, it looks like, and they are going to keep the pressure up. Slither coming in, and vulnerability is going to be used. We only have Forsaken Archer and 4 up. Aluna and Moraxis are resurrecting right here. We do see the jumping happening with the Shrunken Head from Forsaken Archer. Slither taking a lot of damage. In comes Moraxis, and Slither will end up falling right there. So a big kill here coming out for QsQ112. But again, look at the shrine. They need to keep that in mind. Aluna is doing what she can to hold it off, but she's only one person, and she cannot tank all these creeps. So finally, things will slow down here, but wow, what an escape for the Polywalk Priest right there as well from Ophelia. That was unbelievable.
You know, I'll just say from Orange, they have some kind of interesting philosophies about how to play the game and some interesting strategies. A lot of it is getting more mainstream. when you compare it to the international scene. But I will say that those players are some of the most individually skilled players in the game. I mean, they're so good, and they work so well as a team, and their communication most of the time is all there. We have seen a few slip-ups throughout the series, but that was just such a great play there between Ophelia and I can't remember who he poured out. Pollywog, yeah. That was just, I mean, that was some of the greatest play I've ever seen.
It was the Storm Spirit initial. It was like, holy crap, he's going to survive, but he's going to die right after. And all of a sudden he disappeared. I'm just like, what? Oh my God, Ophelia just did that. That was epic. So, yeah, that was just, again, amazing teamwork. And like we said, at the DreamHack event, the other teams, including your own team, I'm sure, just unsure of what Southeast Asia was going to bring to the table, especially with ORGE Esports and MUFC. But the big decision apparently after was that they are just very, very, very talented. It's just about, getting that more experience overall on the competitive level and putting it together, and this will be a very scary team eventually. So, and again, we've definitely been seeing a bit of that individual skill as this game progresses. But here we go, another big jump here from the Helmet team. Actually, Storm Spirit going to be used on the Tempest, keeping it alive, and again the port out. So Tempest is fine, but they do not have a Tempest ultimate. That is an illusion slither, so not the biggest deal in the world. But Tempest is going to come back. He does have an ultimate, and they are clumped up. The Tempest ultimate. This could be the GG moment right here. The raining from the down on the heavens. The Forsaken Archer will fall. Nymphora's going to go down, and GGs are going to be called. ORGE Sports Malaysia will defeat QsQ112 2-1. What a way to finish the game.
Oh my God. There's got to be nothing more fulfilling than being able to get everybody in your ultimate and then say GG while you're channeling it. A little bit bad matter there, but wow. I mean, first off, I got to say that I think, as we've seen it, and I know Fnatic will second this, is that the Ophelia send back to base plus Storm Spirit combination is a little strong there.
So right there.
Kind of makes people rage and tear out their hair a little bit. I know it's happened to me, but damn, they sure use that to its full effectiveness.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, that was a hell of a way to finish off right there. But as you said, I mean, that Ophelia on top of that Storm Spirit, several times we saw in that game, as far as able to get away and escape and ultimately turn things around. So I really just don't have much else. I mean, I will say the series started off a little bit interesting in the sense that obviously ORGE Esports, they got off to a great start and game number 1 right there over QsQ112. And I was a little bit worried that we may have had a short series here because they looked very good after the first game, and QsQ maybe came in a little bit too not necessarily ready, but obviously Game 2 that completely changed around. We had a long, epic game. QsQ ended up being victorious, leading us to that third game, and I can't be happier. I mean, that was just a hell of a series between those two teams, and excited the fact that we did get to cast that. On that note, we do plan to do a post-game interview with actually QsQ. Going to be having him on in just a second, so I'm going to be calling him up here very shortly. But, I mean, Trout, man, I mean, again, it's ORGE Esports now, they're 1-0, of course, as a result of this. Now, QsQ, it's unfortunate they're 0-1, but it is just the beginning of the group stages. There's 7 best-of-3s total for all of these teams here with the 32 teams that remain. So still plenty more time, but obviously not the start QsQ was looking for, but at the same time, Orange is probably, again, probably the favorite in this group, so not necessarily the worst deal when it's all said and done, but, man, crazy, Trout.
I know. I'm really kind of speechless after that game. There was just some really, really epic moments there. I told you when we cast ORGE Esports, you're going to get a game, and that's definitely what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something. So just give me a quick minute here. I'm going to, again, try to get QsQ on the call. Now, as I said earlier, I mean, right now it's actually, what is it, nearly 6:30 a.m. for them.
Oh, geez.
Early morning for these guys over here in Southeast Asia. But definitely giving them props for staying up and competing in this event. But it's going to be every single day. I mean, it's going to be like this for them, obviously. So, and not to say that they are complaining about it, because they're not, and they're very understanding of the situation. But still, it doesn't take away from the fact that it does suck when it's all said and done. But yeah, so here they are again. Now they start 1-0. Now, as I said before as well, the big thing about this is that QsQ definitely don't hang their heads, because not only, again, it's the first game of what's 6 more best-of-3s to come, but they did win 1 game, and that is important in a tiebreaker situation with 3 or more teams that are involved, which very, very likely could happen here, especially in Group A, man. I mean, we keep talking about Group A being this crazy group of who the hell is going to come out of it, really just not too sure. So that's a big thing to note there. But I know, and I'm sure you can vouch for this too, Trell, having losses like this yourself and sort of victories at the same time, but they sting. I mean, it sucks. You're so close. Maybe you could argue at points they should have won, but again, that's why you play the game like that. So.
Yeah, and it's you really got to kick yourself too when it comes down to a 50-minute game and you're like, man, we have the hard carries. They don't have many carries. Like, how could we lose this game? But Orange, they got the lead with those Raxes and they just pressed it. They did it very, very well. There was a really glimmering shine of hope there for QsQ when they got that pick off there in the jungle, and that's exactly what they had to do. They played it really well. They tried to do it again, but Orange responded and they knew what was up, and they played it just to perfection there towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm still trying to get Shuyu actually on the call. He said he was good for one, but unfortunately not picking up just yet. But that's definitely what we want to do as far as production for this event. We want to get, especially instant reaction. That's definitely a cool thing. Getting the instant reaction of the players, especially after a big victory like this one was for Orange Esports. And Shuyu, of course, a big reason for their success, not only as a team but in the series. Did awesome. So. But yeah, as well as eventually pregame interviews as well would definitely be cool to set that up down the line. So definitely expect those as well coming down the line. But at the very least, some postgame. So again, I'm gonna give him a quick call here and hopefully have him on. But on the note, while we're actually still waiting for him, so again, this is just the beginning. First off, actually, it looks like he didn't answer. Shuyu, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear us just yet.
Wait.
You there, buddy? Oh, he said wait, so maybe he's actually doing something real quickly, but
Hello.
Hey, you there?
Yep, I'm actually
Hey, how's it going, man?
very nice.
Very nice. That's good.
I can't hear him.
You can't hear him? Okay. Yeah, here, let me fix something real quickly. My Skype is actually, it looks like all the way up, so it should be good to go as far as that's concerned. Let me check something real quickly. First one, guys, so bear with us. Yeah, let me actually just quit out of that for now because I hear that too. I love the rage quit. That's always awesome. So here we go. It looks like that's good. 1 second on the mix. Let's make sure that's good. All right, the Skype sound should be 100%, so should be good. All right, so Shuyu, you still there?
I'm not sure.
Who is this?
SSF.
XXF.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? You feeling good? Feeling good?
Yeah. Good.
Oh, there we go. I can hear him now.
There you go. Okay. So, man, you just won 2-1 there over Q Squad. That was those were some epic matches, to say the least. Wouldn't you say?
Thanks. We train. You what actually you miss our English not really good. Sorry.
That's fine. No, I just want to hear some emotion. I mean, so you guys excited about the victory that you had here? I mean, you're now 1-0 here in the group stages. So you're happy. Emotions?
Yep.
I think there's a language barrier here, unfortunately. All right, well, XXF. How about congratulations, man? We'll go ahead and actually just wrap this up, but congratulations again on your victory, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. So big congratulations. Get some sleep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. So there we go. We tried. Obviously, a guy from Southeast Asia there. So as you put it, unfortunately, English not his main language. Let alone language probably knows too well. But we tried. Got some emotion out of that. But I'm sure they're excited to say the least. I mean, that was just such an epic series, winning 2-1 like they did. And I got to think after that second game, again, they had such, not necessarily an easy time in the first game, but they won it so decisively in that first game. Then you go into the second game, a 70-minute match that takes forever, and they had their chances to win, but obviously didn't work out for them. that's got to be exhausting, right, Trove?
Yeah, that first game they had some really good strategy. They play the Suicide Wild Soul so well, and I can't remember if it was banned in game 2, but I know it was banned game 3. And yeah, the second game was that was a long drawn out game. I don't even want to talk about that game. But the third game, on paper you would just think that they wouldn't be able to win because they were actually trailing a little bit in the mid game. And when you're trailing, when you're like pretty much an all-in push team, things can get scary. And you should be ahead if you're an all-in push team. But I mean, they did well. I loved the item pickups on XXF. It's so hard to say. And they just played it to perfection, like I said, towards the end there.
Yeah, that was again, it's crazy series there. On that note, this is just day 1, like I said, of 28 days to come here in the group stages. So not only we've got the group stages, then after that's 28 days of just constant coverage, constant matches happening. Then, as you can see right here, this is actually your upcoming schedule. So, of course, today being Orange versus QsQ112. We do have the matches planned out for these next at least 3 days. So, as you can see, tomorrow we got Trademark Esports taking on DreamHoN. Also, Sender's team with, of course, Keizu and Sania, QsQ, and Umzai. And so, basically, the former BlackFay.org crew, as well as Sender. So, and I know that's a matchup that a lot of people are looking forward to, including ourselves. So, going to have some fun with that. A lot of spite going around, perhaps, and a lot of looking for some revenge. Of course, Sender in the TDM situation, but that's going to be fun. I really can't wait for tomorrow for that. That's going to be a great follow-up. Cats versus GA taking place on, that would be Saturday. Of course, the 2 Russian teams happening to go at it for their first match, so that should be a lot of fun there. And then Clan Milk taking on Can't Do Spaces, also, My Nuts team, going to be playing on Sunday. So those are the upcoming matches that we have here on Honcast. On that note, actually looks like I do got another interview. We actually got FJ is willing to come on and talk about the series there, of course, on Q Squad. Unfortunately, on the losing end. But FJ, can you hear me?
Hi, I'm here, Breaker. Yeah,
hey,
I can hear you.
How's it going, buddy? So
I'm great. Well, a bit dazzled by the 3 long games, but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed in our performance, but I'm good.
Of course, yeah, understandable. Obviously, coming on the losing end there, it was a hell of a series, though. Like you said, some long games. You guys lost the first game. It seemed like a pretty decisive victory for Orange Esports. What went through your mind after that first game? What was it like for you?
When we were done with the first game, we felt a bit demoralized because we felt really stumped. But we kind of knew what was going through their minds. We kind of figured out what they were all about. I'm not saying anything bad about Orange Esports because they have amazing play, but they do seem to, in lack of better word, they do seem to pop train a lot. So we felt like we could, if we picked up a good couple of farmers and a good couple of turtlers, we could actually, we could out-farm them, we could out-turtle them. So that's what we did last in a second game. And that's pretty much it. We banned the heroes they were really strong at, we knew they were strong at, and then we kind of pulled through, and that's in the second game.
So the second game, obviously, where the game you're victorious, but still, I think it came a nearly 70-minute game until of actually just play time. So, but they went with an interesting pick in Pestilence. We found that to both be pretty interesting. What was that like for you guys? Were you almost expecting that, or was that surprising to you guys?
We were kind of surprised with the Pestilence pick, but then again, we knew that they were going to have to pick something a bit different because we had a lineup which called for different picks. I mean, we had a pretty big pushing lineup, which was really hard for most teams to counter.
Yeah.
So, and there was actually Misty who came up with saying that I can do Balfagor on mid, and he sure did. I mean, he did. He played an amazing Balfagor mid, and yeah, I'm disappointed that I can't do that big of a fatty.
That's funny. So going into game 2, Balfagor wasn't planned. It just so happened that way.
Balfagor was planned.
Okay.
Yes, he told me that he really wanted to play Balfagor because he loves that hero.
Yeah. And
we were like, yeah, we want to do something different because we already knew that we were underdogs in this game. So we wanted to do a bit of a surprise strategy, and that's what we went with. We went with a bit of a pushing lineup, and we knew that if we could surprise them with that, then we would be really great off. And I feel like we did surprise them with that pushing lineup. You see, they didn't pick that much of a turtle setup.
Yeah, definitely caught them off guard with that. Now, speaking of Balfagor once again, Orange seemed to be focusing a lot on Balfagor, especially in the later game. We found that shocking. They were using a lot. Pestilence every single time seemed like he was jumping on Balfagor, putting the swarm up, and trying to start a fight that way. Was that surprising to you guys, or was that expected?
That was a bit surprising because we thought it was a pretty dumb strategy, and I feel like they kind of changed that a bit.
Yeah.
Because in the later presence, it felt like he was thinking on top of me and stunning me and using whatever he had, Hellflower and whatever, on Rigid Hack, which was me. He did that later on, but then again, he didn't have enough damage to blow me down without help from his teammates. So if they didn't coordinate it properly, then they couldn't get me down, and I would just blink out and regen and whatever. And when you go for a Balfagor, you obviously have to try to kill him, but when you have heroes like Keeper of the Forest as well as the Demented Shaman, he is really damn hard to kill. They don't really have much damage on that team. Late game, they have Pestilence with minus armor, which is obviously great, but when we have a buff that says plus 30 armor or something like that, then it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I had a question actually about game 2 as well. You guys picked Keeper of the Forest. What was going through your guys' thought process of sending, because you actually started it off with FA and DreamHoN bottom, and then you switched it up. Is there a reason why you put FA DreamHoN in the long lane with the Keeper of the Forest in the jungle?
We were kind of worried about about Forsaken actually not getting enough farm, and we also knew that Wretched Hack, who was being played by me, I felt like I could do well against Tempest. So, and I think I was about 280, 300 GPM when I was leaving the early game phase, so that was pretty good. We got a bit disappointed with how the things were going for FA and Demented Shaman when they were facing off top, but that was the thought process. We thought that, we also thought that Ophelia was going to be in enemy jungle, in our jungle, so we didn't want Ophelia to be able to gank freely, if you could put it that way. And what we were scared about was Ophelia trying to push towers top lane really early, so we couldn't just put Wretched Hack up there. So that's pretty much it. But just when I have you guys, I want to say to ORGE Esport that we are really sorry for doing such long games, because they've obviously been staying up very, very late for this.
We mentioned that it's like right now. I mean, it's like 6:30 in the morning for them, but you know, they know going into this event that's probably going to be happening. So again, and I don't think they're necessarily using excuses. So it does suck, though. We were talking about that. It still sucks for them, but
but a great team, definitely.
Yeah. And then obviously the third game. Did you feel like you guys had control of that game at any point, or was that just too overwhelming by ORGE Sports?
We were all nerves were like right up through our throats, right, all the time. We were like, we had issues with warding because they were so good at counter warding, and you also saw that they had so many counter wards because of all the towers they obviously had. They had such a gold advantage, so we were really scared about going anywhere, because with that polywork with PK, he just jumps anything so easily, especially a Wretched Hack, which you obviously saw. I got picked off so many times, and I was so disappointed with myself every time. But yeah, we didn't feel like we had the game, but we knew that we could, if we just managed to defend the last couple of racks. I mean, we kind of knew that we were down a lot when we lost 4 racks. But when they have just killed one set of racks, we were like, well, we can still do this as long as we try to jump them before they drop down polywork wards and stuff like that. But the thing is, when they pop Barrier Idol, then we were like, we have to wait for those 8 seconds, otherwise it won't wig out. We have to wait for 8 seconds after Barrier Idol is down. And then while that Barrier Idol was up, Polywork would come in and pop all he had, and it was just going to be too late, kind of. So obviously, if there was any hints from Sulfamador or something like that, then obviously we'll be happy to take them.
And Ophelia, I'm sure dealing with Ophelia and her judgment on her teammates was quite annoying as well. We saw several situations, especially with Storm Spirit combination, that kept on sending his teammates back as he had close kills. So.
About that situation, I was like, oh, I know what situation you're talking
about.
I know
exactly what we're talking about.
I almost killed Polywork Priest, and he got Storm Spirit and tapped it out, and then he got sent back by Ophelia, or vice versa. And he was even Hellflower, and I was like, what the hell?
That sucks, But again, so obviously, you know, I do appreciate you coming on, despite being on the losing end here against ORGE Sports. But on that note, So obviously now you're 0-1 here in Group A. There's still 6 more matches that you guys get to play. Best out of 3,
Yeah.
I mean. So plenty
Yeah.
more opportunity to actually make some comebacks and still finish in the top 2.
As far as I believe, I think we're getting 1 point against Orange Esport, and Orange
Yes.
Esport was actually the team we were fearing the most.
Yeah.
Like, we are a new team, there's no doubt about that, but I have high hopes for my team's future accomplishments.
Yeah.
And I believe with a bit of practice and a bit of scrimming and stuff like that, we can actually be on par with some of the better teams in Group A. So I'm really looking forward to that.
What do you think of Group
Dude.
A overall? I mean, how do you think it stands?
I don't like. There's been a lot of talk about Group A being the group of death, but I think Group A is more like the group of balance because there's a lot of top teams, but they are all not in the direct top. If you get me, there's not really any top 5 teams in my eyes. I believe everyone is sitting about top 5 to 15.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I agree.
I think that's a bit. It's a balanced group, and anything can happen in honesty.
Yeah, I think it's the most balanced, as I've said before, and I said on the show yesterday. So, but again, on that note, FJ, any shout-outs you want to make here before we wrap this up, man?
I obviously want to say shout-outs to all of... I'm going to say sorry to all the viewers for the bad plays, because I realized that I didn't perform as well tonight. We were playing against one of the best teams in the world. I was playing in US West. Yeah. I was disappointed with myself, and that's all I can say about that. I practiced and tried to do better, and I obviously want to shout out to Honcast for following us in this game. That's the second game you've been casting us in within 2 or 3 days. So, and obviously shout out to Nova's QsQ squad, because that is a fantastic new group and a new community, and I really encourage everyone to join it if they have what it takes.
Definitely.
And obviously shout out to my fellow teammates from Team From Sue or whatever we call ourselves these days. But yeah, shout out to them and well played to my friends.
There you go. All right, FJ, I really do appreciate it, man. Again, unfortunately, you guys lost to Digging the Torch, but like you said, definitely a favorite in Group A. But you got them out of the way early at least. You got at least 1 point. Now you got the other teams to look out for. So congratulations on that note, FJ, and look forward to seeing you guys' success in the future of this event, man.
Thank you very much. I'll see you later, Ricky.
Yep. All right, there you go, guys. So FJ, appreciate having him come on despite being on the losing end. Like he said, I actually just quickly messaged him, and he said, yeah, I would be more than happy to come on. So it's good to see that he is at least in good spirits again. It is a big event. It's not like they were knocked out by any means. There's still many more matches to come, like I said, Trell. So any final words that you have before we wrap up this today's coverage here?
No, I think those are some really great games, and I think that the viewers can really learn a lot about what happened. And just the drafting in general and how lockpick is can be kind of quirky sometimes.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
Yeah, we definitely got some entertaining picks and whatnot from that, and it made it very interesting to say the least. So, big congratulations to Orange Esports once again. Very deserving of the victories here. It took maybe a little bit longer than they expected or hoped for, but they became victorious. As far as now, they're 1-0 here in the group stages. As far as the other matches, I'm not exactly sure actually how they played out, to be honest. But definitely by tomorrow, of course, we'll have those results updated for you guys. But again, tomorrow, guys, same time. It will be the same time every single day. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time. Tomorrow we have Trademark Esports taking on DreamHoN, a.k.a. Cinder and Squad. And that is one of the... out of the whole group stages, I think that's going to be one of the best matchups that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. So, Trell, tomorrow, man, going to be fun. But this is just the beginning of the group stages.
Tomorrow's going to be the fun one.
Tomorrow's going to be fun. So tune in tomorrow, guys, with that said, as every day for the next 28 days. On that note, though, I was Big CPK. Joining me is Trell Mador. Big shout-out to Matt Klein, our producer behind the scenes, doing the work there. Again, tune in tomorrow, guys. See you then. Have a good night.